All right, we're doing this again, and this time we're checking out something that actually we talked about Friday on Geekenders. Dodger was like, you need to look into this. I guess it's about Legos. $200,000 worth of Legos. I am clearly not up on this story, but I'm hopefully by the end of this episode gonna know more than I ever wanted to know. I don't know what happened. I was like, no more. I'm gonna know more than I ever wanted to about whatever the hell went down with $200,000 worth of Legos. I can't wait to know more. Okay, so this video is by H-Dubs. 200,000 in Lego was stolen. All right, Harrison Woodward, help me out. Tell me what's what.
$200,000 in Lego was stolen. I have received a ton of comments asking what I think about the whole Bricks and Minifigs scandal. It is crazy. So if you aren't aware, Bricks and Minifigs is like the biggest retailer of Lego in the country. You can sell them your sets, they sell them for profit. Just a standard retailer whose niche is Lego. So basically a family consigned their $200,000 Lego Star Wars collection. More specifically, the son did fund his father's health treatments and pay for the grandchildren's college funds. Bricks and Minifigs is franchised, so they're all different.
I gotta stop. I'm trying to pay attention to the words that are coming out of his mouth, but he keeps moving and cutting so quickly. My old ass is like, by moving and cutting to different angles, he's trying to like get you to notice all of his builds in the background, which are very impressive. I'm impressed by that. There's one, it's like a snowy villa. That thing's so cute. But with that said, it is so hard for me to pay attention. All right, let's go back to the beginning. All I got was that there's a shop somewhere that buys Legos on consignment to then sell them, and this dude was trying to sell them to help his father. I feel like that's all I needed, but okay. All right, from the beginning.
$200,000 in Lego was stolen. I have received a ton of comments asking what I think about the whole Bricks and Minifigs scandal.
There's so much
crazy.
going on.
So if you aren't aware, Bricks and Minifigs is like the biggest retailer of Lego in the country. You can sell them your sets, they sell them for profit. Just a standard retailer whose niche is Lego. So basically a family consigned their $200,000 Lego Star Wars collection. More specifically, the son did fund his father's health treatments and pay for the grandchildren's college funds. Bricks and Minifigs is franchised, so they're all different owners. They're technically not allowed to do consignments. Per corporate rules, they just have to buy the sets and then resell them. This store's owner set up a whole consignment contract, said if they sell the sets, then obviously they get to keep a percentage of the profits, and the family gets the majority of the money of the sets sold. Now, the owners of that franchise actually ended up moving abroad, and they sold the franchise. And the new owners came in and were like, what contract? They just actively ignored that this whole agreement was in place, and were like, we're just keeping the sets.
You can't do that.
Again, $200,000 of Lego. Basically, it's become a whole mess. Corporate said that they're not allowed to do this, the contract is null and void, but they're still not returning the sets. They've actually trespassed the son who consigned the sets from their store, so he can't even enter the store that has his collection. Multiple YouTubers and news outlets have made videos about this, and it's getting mainstream news attention. It is actually crazy that a company that brings in over $100 million in annual revenue is willing to tank themselves over 200 grand. And what's even worse is these are all independently owned locations. Like I said, they're franchised, so the owners of all the other stores are getting destroyed, and they had nothing to do with this. People are saying boycott Bricks and Minifigs. At this point, we don't even know if they still have the sets or not, or if they sold them already. Regardless, it should have been solved immediately, either giving the sets back or just paying out the $200,000 that they probably owe them, or whatever amount all the sets sold for. The whole situation is absolutely atrocious. I'm curious to see how this actually pans out.
I can't tell if what he's sorry. I want to talk about the actual topic, but like the whole filming of TikToks is a thing that one day I would love to just sit down with a TikToker or a YouTube Shorts person, just ask them. I gotta do like a tell me about on this, because I know it must be for a reason. Because in my mind, he's holding the camera like this, his phone like this, but then he's like scooting around with his feetsies. You know what I mean? Like his feet are like underneath. It just seems ridiculous. But all right, cool. All right, I know a little bit more now. Over on r/Lego, amazing. They have a Bricks and Minifigs controversy news mega thread on r/Lego. Okay, the purpose of this second mega thread, there was already one and it got 2 mega, is to keep an updated factual record of events for those who wish to follow the story while in progress. Yeah, okay. Those involved: Reckless Ben, a YouTuber and filmmaker known for prank videos, social experiments, and investigative documentaries focused on scams. What do you... I guess I can't complain about someone being all over the place. That's me. But it's so funny that he does prank videos, which I hate, social experiments, which are probably douchey, but then investigative documentaries focused on scams, controversial organizations, and internet culture. His content combines humor, undercover stunts, and long form. We gotta watch Reckless Ben here in a sec. I need to know. The Mansell family, the victims who signed the consignment agreement in late 2023 between themselves and the Bricks and Minifigs franchise store. Under the arrangement, the store could sell individual Lego sets while ownership remained with the family, who would receive 35% commission on sales. Bricks and Minifigs, a retail franchise that buys, sells, and trades new and used Lego sets, minifigures, and loose bricks. The stores cater to Lego fans, collectors, and families by offering rare, retired, and affordable pre-owned Lego products. Okay, but as we learned from the previous video, it's a franchise, so each store is owned by someone different, even though they're all under the same logo and name and stuff. All right, we have a timeline that in May 21, a video by Reckless Ben came out. All right, well then let's go to the original video. We can go see what our man Ben is up to. Reckless Ben, I want to go to your YouTube channel and take a look around. For some reason, seeing Reckless Ben, I think, that looks like Reckless Ben. Does that make any sense? Like, I see him and I'm like, no, that's a Reckless Ben right there. 11 years ago he started, and it was just like him being a crazy kid. His original content is very much like Goober gets tased, or I secretly recorded Scientology, which is actually kind of funny. What was the first video to blow up for him? The TV show found out I was secretly filming them. I mean, that seems illegal, but okay, so he did that, and that was 5 years ago, and that was 200-some thousand views. And then the next thing that gets him, the next thing that brings him back up is sneaking into Bohemian Grove. Right, so he's doing a lot of like breaking and entering, okay? And I have nothing wrong with Bohemian Grove, frankly. I think whatever our overlords are up to, hey guys, don't kill me. The next one, I infiltrated the scariest cult in the world. That one kind of blew up. The cult that tried to kill my girlfriend. All right, sure. If you want to know how to grow on YouTube, almost getting killed by a cult's the way to do it. He then tries to do prank videos again, but those get less views, interestingly enough. Looking at his thumbnails, 2 years ago, it starts to get like a little more AI looking, or heavily edited. Does that make any sense? Aside from a few things here or there where he hit 1 million, it wasn't until he tracked down the thief that stole $200,000 in Legos that he actually really truly started getting millions of views. I guess that just goes to show this guy has been doing this at least 11 years, and it wasn't until recently that he absolutely just blew up. Can happen to anyone. There's your lesson, kids. All right, anyway, let's check out his video, shall we? It's an hour and 25. I don't know that we'll watch all of it, but okay.
Okay. This man spent his life collecting what's now known as the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000.
Why are there weird bubbles in the corner?
And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thieves to cover the entire thing up. But the craziest part is that the collector doesn't even know that his collection's been stolen. Yeah, the collector's son, Brian, well, he reached out to me because he has no clue how to break this news to his dad.
Why is the top corner like that?
My father had a health episode. We can't bring any stress.
What is that? Why is that? Why is it across the video? Well, that's infuriating. Is that so people won't steal his footage? I am so confused why that's there. Is that part of the trolling? All right, let's go back to it.
At this point, my father had a health episode. We can't bring any stress to him.
The reason he's reaching out to me is because the police are covering this entire thing up. And at this moment, I promised Brian that I would not end this video until I get his entire world record Star Wars collection back. But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation called Bricks and Minifigs.
Bricks and Minifigs, the biggest toy store of its kind.
Is the largest toy store.
Bricks and Minifigs were not just your average Lego store.
For collectors, Bricks and Minifigs is basically seen as the best and safest way to sell your Lego collections.
I'm selling my Legos. So what I'm planning to do with them is take them to my local Bricks and Minifigs.
Because there's so much positive media about them everywhere, Brian thought that this would be the perfect...
I've never heard of this company before in my life, and LA is a nerdy ass city. There's maybe because there's so many, stores kind of like this that there's no room for Bricks and Minifigs. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Ha! There's actually many. All right, well, it just goes to show how out of the loop I am.
Store to finally sell his dad's Lego Star Wars collection.
So I wrote up a contract.
In the contract, it says that these are still the family's Lego sets, but every time one gets sold, the store gets to keep a small percentage of each sale.
This was a store's worth of inventory. So that store that day was nothing but my dad's collection. Like, all the shelves filled. They had to bring in extra shelves and filled the whole party room with shelves.
But the owner of the franchise, this woman, well, her husband had to actually leave the country due to some work-related reasons. She told the Bricks and Minifigs head corporation that she was planning on selling the store, so the corporation actually was able to find a buyer to buy it from her.
They let me know that they had somebody who was interested in purchasing a franchise in the area. He was going to be in town and he was going to stop by and just take a look at it. Wasn't until Crendor
Why'd they make him so evil? I mean, I guess they are the bad guys, but it's very
that
funny.
He informed me that they were terminating my franchise agreement. We were getting threats from Brandon and from corporate that if we didn't leave the store immediately, the police were going to be called. I told corporate I wasn't comfortable leaving that night without the inventory. I was also told I was not going to be able to stay there long enough to do that inventory.
But we don't just have to take this woman's word for it. She was actually able to save all the security camera footage from that night, proving that everything she just said is true.
All the footage and evidence is there. In the security cam footage, it's him at the store kicking her out. In that footage they sent us is Crystal asking him, how am I supposed to pay this guy? These are sets he has not been paid for.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
His own corporation is sitting there on video saying they're going to take
What?
After this woman got kicked out of her own store, she called Brian explaining how corporate just came down and is now trying to take the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection without paying for it. So, Brian called the store to see what was going on.
Called the store, and I said, what happened to Crystal? And he goes, well, that's kind of a private matter, but the corporation's taken over the store. There's something I can do to help you with. I said, well, yeah. I am the owner of about half your store's inventory. All those vintage Star Wars sets you have in there are ours. And he goes, I don't know anything about that. I said, well, you better get to learn about it because I have a contract, I have photo evidence, video evidence, like that is our collection. So I went down to the store, brought a copy of the contract. We're like, you need to let me in back and let me see the sets that you still have. All you have to do is let me in back. We can go that route or we can go to court. And the guy just looks at me, crosses his arms and goes, let me tell you what's gonna happen. If we go to court, we're gonna drag this thing out so long and you're gonna end up spending so much more money than your collection is ever worth or what you ever
Yo, what kind of asshole? You know what? I was about to say what kind of asshole would do this, but it's the business world, and I promise you, it's filled with assholes just like this. That's how they become grossly rich. Just it's genuinely the way it is, man.
Bricks and Minifigs knows that this family, especially with the father's health, doesn't have the resources to take them to court, and almost mockingly, they've since flooded all of their social media with tons of pictures of Star Wars Legos. At this point, it seems like they're just rubbing it in this family's face that they stole the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection in the world, and they got away with it.
Everybody is absolutely baffled. How the hell can a corporation get away with doing this?
Yeah.
And why are the cops not helping?
But luckily for Brian, a YouTuber ended up catching wind of this story and created a team of YouTubers to do whatever they could to get Brian his Legos back.
This is the full inventory of all the sets and minifigs.
We can figure out how to get this guy his money. And
This is fascinating. So this wasn't even, Reckless Ben wasn't even like the first on the case. There were other YouTubers doing, honestly, this is super interesting. I don't know why I didn't know about this.
But right after they started, they instantly stopped working on this case. So I called one of them to find out why.
What is this conspiracy? No wonder everyone's like, you gotta watch this.
They were threatening legal action against us. You know, Bricks and Minifigs, which is a pretty big company who probably has way more resources than we can, really put up a fight against.
Bricks and Minifigs knows that they can just bully anyone that tries to expose them with frivolous lawsuits. and this left Brian feeling pretty hopeless.
It eats me alive. I had terrible anxiety attacks over it, got put on medication. I just kind of was like, okay, I just have to let these freaking things go right now.
Dude.
Because it didn't seem like I have any path to go, you know?
Well, I guess now it's time for me to get involved. So immediately I went to my car, picked up some friends, and started driving 16 hours to this Bricks and Minifigs store. And I will do literally whatever it takes. Even if I have to take down the entire police force, I will stop at nothing until this family gets their entire Lego Star Wars collection back. And now 16 hours later, we're finally pulling up to the Bricks and Minifigs store. So I started a pair of spy camera glasses that's...
You know what? I'm gonna say a thing. I'm sure if I were to watch this dude's other videos where he's like pranking or whatever, I'd be really upset. But right now, it kind of feels like when Vegeta becomes a good guy, and I'm like, yes, use those powers of assholiness for good. I'm here for this. I love this. This is great.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
It's pretty good. So basically, my friend said that you guys have some of his Legos, I think, and he told me to come here and see if I could pick them up.
Who's your friend?
I think they're Brian's Legos. It's like a big like Star Wars collection set, I think.
You could go ahead and leave now.
Really?
So you could go ahead and leave now, or I will call the police for harassment.
Well, I'm not harassing you.
No, you are. Hi. You want to watch the cameras? I'm being harassed by you. Watch the cameras. I am being harassed. You need to leave.
Literally, all I did was just bring up that my friend has some Legos in their store, and
so
the manager started freaking out on me.
They know that
I
this
wasn't
is
going
an
to leave the
issue
store
and that-
without hearing her side of the story. Before showing up, I printed out a copy of the contract the store made with Brian, saying that all of these Lego sets will remain his until sold. Because I have a contract, legal reason to be here, legally this does not count as harassment. Instead, the manager should be checking the store's inventory to see if these sets are still in their store.
Well, so here's still all of the Lego sets you guys still have.
I don't have anything to do with that, and I don't want that. You can go ahead and leave, and I'm going to ask you one more time. This is the last time. I do not want that. You're not handing me anything.
I tried for a long time just to get her to look at this contract. But finally, she gave me an answer of why she can't help me.
You've been supposed to be getting a hold of corporate.
Basically what the manager's saying is that if someone did steal the Legos, it wasn't her, it was corporate. But little does the manager know, I already did this. Yep, I literally went to the corporate Bricks and Minifigs headquarters.
How's it going?
And this was corporate side of the story.
You have to talk to the store owner. Yeah, like they're all locally owned and operated. We can't do anything with it here. Their decisions are their decisions. For sure.
So when they say go to corporate, how do we respond next time?
I have no idea. You have to take it up with them. It's your...
the old runaround.
That doesn't involve
a corporate classic.
So I showed the manager what corporate Bricks and Minifigs said.
When corporate tells me this, I'm supposed to come back to the store, right? And so it kind of seems like you're going against what corporate's saying.
That's fine.
No, well, this is what corporate told us.
I'm happy that's what corporate told you. For the last time, I'm asking you to leave the store.
Can you give me a reason to leave, I guess?
Have you guys heard me ask him several times?
I don't know about you guys, but to me, it kind of seems like the only reason she's asking me to leave the store is to cover up this $200,000 theft.
You need to leave. How many times have you been asked to leave?
Was there a reason you're asking me to leave?
You need to leave. I've asked you to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. I've asked you how many times to leave this. I've been asking to leave.
Eventually, the owner of the store called in and asked if he could talk to me.
Are you the owner of the Bricks and Minifigs store?
Yeah, why? What you got?
So...
Oof. The guy, it's so funny because the way he talks is exactly how I imagine an asshole owner of a Bricks and Minifigs would talk. Hey, what do you got?
Are you the owner of the Bricks and Minifigs store?
Yeah, why? What you got?
That sucks. That guy sucks.
Basically, I just wanted to get some of the Legos back that you guys still have. I think I'm looking for the clone turbo tank.
Why do you think you would be entitled to our inventory?
Well, at least I confirmed the Legos are still here. The only thing is the owner's claiming that he's the owner of these Lego sets. I mean, it's pretty stupid of him to say that considering I'm literally holding a copy of a contract he made with the store that said that this Lego Star Wars collection is not the store's property. It's the family's property. The contract makes all of this very clear, so I want to give him one more chance to answer a little bit better.
Well, I just want to get it back from my friend. He said he couldn't get it back, so I was just wondering if I could just come pick him up. You guys still have him, right?
Bro, why Why do you think your friend would be entitled to our inventory?
What's his? He owns the Legos.
Huh? He doesn't own the Legos.
Well, yeah, we have a contract. He does own them.
No, bro, are you an idiot? Are you stupid?
Josh, the police are showing up right now.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, at least the police are here now, so once I show them the contract we're in with the store, we can finally get the Legos back.
Basically, we have, I think it's like $200,000 worth of Lego sets that we just have them in the store, and we just like to pick them up, I guess, because they were going to sell it for us, but I guess they're not selling it for us anymore.
But does it sound like they want you here, right? So
they have our sets, though, yeah.
I understand that. Right here, the factor is that they don't want you. They're a private owned store, and they don't want you on the front. Okay.
But I don't want them to keep the Lego sets, though.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
The police officer literally didn't care at all that the store just stole $200,000 worth of Legos.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I don't want to be like, well, you know, the police are correct. But like in this situation, he doesn't have any information. Or maybe he does. Like, I don't know. But an officer coming to a thing knows that they want someone gone. And it's like, okay. And then they'd be like, now that you're off the property, then you can deal with the problem. Does that make any sense? They're just trying to get you off the property. They aren't trying to get you like your money back. That's like a totally different dispute. But yeah, all right, let's just keep going.
For some reason, he made it seem like I was the bad guy.
So you are trespass from here. So
okay.
Trespass for life. So if you come back.
Oh, for life?
Yeah. If you come back, you could be arrested. Okay.
Oh, so how do I get the Legos back then if I can't go in the store?
Okay, we talked about that. Do you understand the trespass portion? If you come back, you will be arrested. If you come back, we're in the car and we're gonna arrest you.
Brian did warn me that the police are actively trying to cover this up. So Brian and I are now officially trespassed from the store.
What?
And if we
hold on, is there a layer of the police trying to cover this up? I thought this was like oh, this is a thing, this guy, you know, the cop is just doing what cops do, like, you know, he's trying to stay out of it? What the what? Hold on. The follow-up video is I got swatted because of Legos? What the what?
Search warrant. Stand up. Step outside, everybody. No. Don't move.
This is the story of how I got swatted, all because of Legos.
Weird that the camera, it's definitely one of those things where I have to question a lot of stuff simply because they're in handcuffs, but like some dude's walking around with the camera filming too. Like, this isn't cops. Unless it is, bad boys, what you gon'? All right.
The whole thing started with me investigating a Lego company called Bricks and Minifigs. The company sent 2 guys to steal the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection worth around $200,000. And for some reason, the police are helping them get away with it. The family reached out to me saying that I'm their last hope to get them their life savings back. The video I made exposing them was actually insane. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But we ended up taking them to court, and we actually won. When I went back to the store to collect my money, they literally shut down the entire store just to avoid paying us.
Dang it! You know, part of me is glad I didn't watch the rest of that video. I'm glad they won in court, but like, this is intolerable. This man is trying to do goofs, and I'm like, I want investigative journalism. I don't want like goofs. Anyway.
So I personally gave them an official closing ceremony, and it went extremely viral. And now the entire world has seen how corrupt this Bricks and Minifigs company is.
We didn't get the Legos back, but I mean, we shut down an entire business.
We still had to get the Legos back. Yeah, I made a promise to this family that I was not going to stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back. Right now, the 2 owners, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best,
we gotta not keep showing this footage. I just don't like the diaper. I don't like it. You know, sometimes when Vegeta would also just still be a dick.
The reality is, I can literally just sue them all over again, but personally this time. So I started to file my lawsuit. But right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing.
Basically, before this court case can get approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first.
I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
So my only option left is to travel to his house to have this conversation.
Oh my You know when the mob hires the Joker to take out Batman and then the Joker just like goes a little too extra? This is that. This family was like, we'll do anything to get our money back. And they hired a maniac. And this man is like, so I drove to his house and I went to go harass him. Anyway, the police came and got me. That's what they... 5 hours ago, 357,000 views. Bricks and Minifigs update.
So by now you've probably heard about the Bricks and Minifigs situation,
I have.
where the new owners of the Bricks and Minifigs store basically stole $200,000 of Legos from a man and his father who decided to sell their collection at this store. But guys, I have good news, big update. Reckless Ben, the YouTuber who made a video exposing all of this and giving it a ton of publicity, recently dropped a GoFundMe after all of the chaos, and that GoFundMe is now at $440,000. It's actually wild that it had to get to this point with how evil the new owners of this place are, but at the same time, when it comes to money, people are ruthless. You really can't trust anyone.
Okay, so I guess I'm curious about the lawsuit thing. This is what happens when you skip ahead. This is what happens when you skip ahead. Also, my man has no timestamps on his video, so I can't figure out exactly where I want to go here. But let's go to the end, maybe?
For the surprise of his life.
You have, like, I guess until the store closes, I guess, to get the Legos back if that's the way you want to go. But if not, I guess we'll serve the papers today and then go to court.
How are you going to serve the papers today?
Well, figure it out.
That's not how it works. Are you young? That's not how the world works.
It's not how the world works? Well, we're going to do it. We're going to make the world work that way today.
Well, Bricks and Minifigs knows the deal. Get the Legos back before the store closes, or they get served court papers. And now we wait. It's the next day now. And you know what that means? It's go time.
It's go time.
The funniest part about yesterday was when I was talking to Josh on the phone, he totally thinks that I just made all of this up in the moment. When the actual reality is, we've been planning this court case for months. But I'm not complaining, because if Josh thinks it's fake, then he probably won't show up to court. And if Josh doesn't show up to court, we just win by default. So before I serve him any court papers, I'm actually first gonna confirm Josh's beliefs and do something super duper fake. Like give him a world record for the most amount of Legos ever stolen.
Not everyone can say that they're the best in the world. It's something.
Exactly.
We ready? Hi.
Hello.
I am Ryan with the Guinness World Record.
Okay. All right. All I want to see is the court case thing.
Anyways, we ended up getting the rest of the court papers served, and now I'm just going to fast forward a few months, and Bricks and Minifigs hasn't responded to a single court case we submitted against them. So I called the court to see what the next steps were.
Okay, so I don't see that there's been a response from anybody in the case. Since they didn't respond, you can move forward with a motion for default judgment.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yes, since Bricks and Minifigs didn't respond, looks like we win by default.
Congratulations, you won the court case.
I mean, like, what do they win, though? You know what I mean?
Well, I think now it's time to go all the way back to Bricks and Minifigs and collect our money. And I got a cute little piggy bank here that they can put the money in.
And so I traveled all the way back to Oregon to finally collect my money.
Right. And so, as far as I can tell, they show up and the store's closed. It looks like they're permanently no longer doing anything. Rather than even fight it, they just shut down the store so you can't do anything about it.
Now, there's absolutely no way to hold this store liable for what they did. I guess Bricks and Minifigs was kind of embarrassed by this decision and forgot to mark online that their store is closed. So over the next few days, a bunch of negative reviews started coming in of people expecting an open store, but then being met with this.
Crazy that it's BAM corporate. It almost makes it feel like it's corporate. There's so many layers to this. There's got to be like a really great summary video to watch. I would love to do that. There's so much going on here, and it feels like I'm like what's the cop angle? There's a lot that and it's still going on. But I guess there's a GoFundMe now, so I guess the family is getting some money, but this is a bizarre story. Strangely told by one of the craziest people that can tell it, I guess. I'm here for it, but wow. Wow. Not too old for it, but maybe. Sometimes I wonder.